Hi, Steve Stein here again, and I had a request, and I'm proud to play one of my songs from a band I have by the name of Grimm. Grimm is a collaboration between Steve Grimmett from England, he's the lead singer of a band called Grim Reaper, and myself, and we do all kinds of different rock styles of music, but this one is a ballad that we wrote for my daughter Imogen when she was born. We wrote it about 2 days after she was born. So it's really neat because I try and use a bunch of different techniques that are fun for guitar players. So let me play it for you. Go ahead and watch what I'm doing, and then let's break it down a little bit. Remember, if you have any requests, go ahead and click on the link, and I'll be happy to get to them. So here's the intro. I'm finger picking this. I do that again. And then I'll show you some of the verse here as well. Doing it again. Ending coming up here. Chorus. Okay, little break here. And it goes back to the verse and finishes off. So let me explain to you a little bit what's happening here. A really fun song to play, which is the kind of stuff I try and write are things that are interesting, not necessarily difficult, but just interesting for guitar players. So what I'm doing is starting off by picking the 5th string with my thumb, and then I'm dropping my thumb down to the 3rd string. And basically what I'm going to be using here is my thumb on the 3rd string, my middle finger on the 2nd string, and my 3rd finger on the 1st string. Okay, so after I've plucked my bass note, I'm going to head down to those 3. Okay, so I've got thumb, and then I'm going to drop down to the 3rd string. I'm going to do a slide from 7 to 9 with my 1st finger. And then I'm going to go to my middle finger on the 2nd string, which means I'm going to use the index finger on this hand. So I have, then I'm going to go back to that 1st finger on the 3rd string. Okay. Then I got to jump over to the 1st string. So that's the 12th fret of the 1st string, and I'm using my middle finger to pick that. So I have, okay. And then I'm going to go to the 10th fret with my middle finger, do a pull off from 10 to 9. Then I'm going to go to the 10th fret of the 2nd string. And then I'm going to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So I'm making an arpeggio here. I'm actually making an A major arpeggio. Okay? So it sounds like this. And then I'm just going to add another little tag of going back to the 2nd string and then back to the 3rd string. So it sounds like this. Okay? So I have, then the second half is me going to the 4th string with my thumb, and then the thumb again on the 3rd string doing that same slide, 7 to 9. So the second half of that is plucking the 4th string, doing my slide with my thumb here. Then I'm going to the the 2nd string, 10th fret with my 1st finger picking, back to the 3rd string. Okay? So needless to say, when you're learning songs like this, the first thing to do is to wrap your brain around the melody. Hear it, right? Listen to it over and over and over. Hear that melody. Okay, so that's what that sounds like. Plucking the 5th string, doing my slide, going back, and then doing my pull off, and then plucking the 4th string. Okay, now we move down to the verse, and the verse has got lots of fun chords. When I play songs, most of the time I have a tendency of just making varieties of different things out of chords instead of just playing D as D the whole time or A as A the whole time. It's kind of fun to mix things up, so that's what's happening in here. One of my favorite sort of 70s chord progressions is the first thing I do. It's an A major chord, or simply A, to an A major 7 to an A7. And if you think of it this way, all that's happening is the 3rd string is just descending by 1 note each time. Let me play that for you. So I've got an A chord. Doesn't matter whether you play it with these 3 fingers or these 3. Whatever works for you. Then major 7 is right there. So in major 7, what I'm doing is I'm taking the note on the 3rd string and I'm moving down 1 fret. In order to do that, though, I have to refinger my hand, of course. Right? So I'm flipping over to make this one on the 4th string. Okay, my middle finger's on the 4th string. 2nd fret, my 1st finger is on the 3rd string, 1st fret. That's the note I had to change. And then my 3rd finger is still on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. So I'm just flipping those 2 guys over. If you watch, if I'm playing A like this, I'm just flipping those top 2. Then I'm taking that finger off completely. Here's my A7 chord. So I'm descending that middle note every time. Then I'm going to a D. In Beatles fashion, I'm going from a D to a D minor chord right away. So I'm playing D major to D minor. Then it goes to D minor. Back to my A. Then I'm going to go to a B of sorts. I'm going to go to a B power chord, but I'm going to also play the 1st and 2nd strings open. So my 1st finger is going to the 5th string, 2nd fret. And then my other 2 fingers are going on to the 4th and 3rd strings respectively at the 4th fret, leaving these 2 open. Then I'm going to head over to an E chord. And I'm adding a sus4. You wouldn't have to, but I'm just adding that on for some fun. Okay, so again, as with most of my videos, what would be great for you to have is this video. To have a pen and a piece of paper handy so you can write down the map as we go. So here's how this thing would be broken down if you can write this down. I've got A major 7, A7, kind of fun to play, and then D, then D minor right away, back to A, this B chord, to the E. Then we're going to go back, excuse me, we're going to go back, we're going to do the exact same thing, but the ending's a little different because we got to get to the chorus. So here we go. A major 7, A7, to D, still going to that D minor, to A, but this time I'm going to go straight to E. So what I'm doing there is I'm making an E chord. Instead of going to that B at all, I just went straight to E. Then I added the sus4 on. And then what I did was I slid up and I played just the bottom 4 strings. I'm on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then I'm leaving the bottom 2 open. So I'm going from E, sus. So I'm getting that little melody happening in the middle. Then I head to the chorus. Now the chorus I wanted D to A. But it sounded so blasé, so what I did was, instead of playing D, I took the C chord and simply moved it up 2 frets. So I'm creating a D chord essentially, but I've still got these open strings, which sounds so much more colorful and mysterious than just playing D like that. So I'm moving D up 2 frets. And then I wanted to go to A, okay? But again, instead of just going to A like this, what I did was I went to the A bar chord, 6th string, Okay, but instead of using the bar, I just took the bar off. I'm not using that at all, and I'm just strumming the bottom 5 strings. So again, I'm getting the sound of an A chord because of this bar, but I'm using the bottom 2 strings open. So again, just a different voicing. Sounds different than just playing A. Okay? So again, kind of fun to play. So here's my chorus. I'm going... then back. Again. Then I'm going to head back down to the E idea, doing that same build I did before. But then it goes right into this lick. What I'm doing there is I'm doing a hammer-on from 9 to 11 on the 3rd string, and then I'm plucking the 10th fret, and then the open 1st string. So I'm going... And then I'm doing a harmonic on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, harmonic on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, and then harmonic on the 1st string 12th fret. So it sounds like this. Okay? Like that. So I'm coming off this E. Here it comes. Okay? Again, kind of fun. You just have to break these down. So then I'm going back into the beginning. I'm going to go to the verse. Major 7, 7, D. This is the ending now. D minor, A, back to that B like before, back to the E. You can add the sus. Here comes our end now. Major 7. Comes next there it is, A7, D, okay, here comes our end, D minor, A, and all we're doing is the same thing, but we're going to go quicker. We're going to go B, E, A, okay, and then I'm going to go to a B minor chord, and I'm just plucking through. So I'm plucking all the way to the 3rd string. So I'm going 5, 4, 3, 4. And then the other direction. So I have... And then E. Same thing. Only this time I'm going down to the 3rd string there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go to A. Okay, so hopefully you'll have some fun with this. A lot of the songs that I write, I try and write so people like you would have fun learning them. Not that they need to be overly huge challenges or anything, but they're just interesting. What I found a long time ago in my playing was if I just played A and D and G, you know, after a while it got a little boring. So it was always nice to add some spice into those things. So when I do my writing, that's what I do. So please check out my band. I have many bands out there, but Grimmstein is certainly one of them, Grimmstine. The song, again, To Sing a Lullaby. And if you have any other, requests for songs that you'd like me to learn, please click on the link and add it, and I will get to it as soon as I can. So thanks and have a great day.